If you want to improve your serve, the point of your serve that you want to improve is how you're getting out of your trophy position. So when we are tossing and we have reached our trophy position, the really key point of that is how your shoulders and your hips are creating that compression onto your racket side. You want to stay in this position that's having your shoulders slant down and compressing the backside of your body. When I'm here, I want to stay in this position as I'm jumping. So when my jump starts, I'm not allowing myself to already shift my weight forward or tip up. I want to feel like I'm jumping, keeping this compression and driving up from this position. As I'm doing this, I'm allowing my racket to go back behind me. My racket's not going toward my head and shoulder, my racket's going toward the back fence. So as I'm driving up, keeping this compression, my racket starts to move back. Once I allow myself to extend and the racket's going up, now my body is allowed to come over and I can complete my serve. To understand the coil in your trophy position, think about having your back elbow drive down to your back hip pocket. It's not that you're going to be there when you're serving, you're going to be lifting your arm up, allowing it to be wherever you feel comfortable. But thinking about having it go down to your back hip pocket is going to create the angle of your shoulders that you're going to be able to find how you're coiling and crunching down onto that backside and ready to jump out of that position and ready to explode onto your serve. Adding this onto your serve not only helps you stay connected with your body on the serve, it's also keeping your spine a little bit more protected, because now you're no longer jumping just going straight up right here and putting a lot of pressure on the middle or lower part of your spine. You're staying compressed and jumping from a very solid unit that's not having pressure put in the middle or lower part of your spine. From here, you're going to see that you're able to keep your weight through it and snap to get a much faster serve. So while you're doing this and keeping this compression as you're driving up, it's going to be your personal preference whether you want to have your elbow more down or whether you want to have your elbow more up. It's not necessarily going to hurt your serve one way or the other, as long as you're emphasizing how the shoulders are staying in this diagonal so you can keep this compression. I can be here and serve, or I can be here and serve. I'm just trying to emphasize how I'm compressing this backside and driving up. It has little to do with what I choose to do with my arm. Everyone's going to have their own personal preference on how they like to serve, but keeping that compression as you're driving up is what's going to influence how your body's connected to that serve. As you're driving up, you really want to emphasize that the racket starts to go back as the legs are driving up. So you're here and your racket is driving back as your legs are driving up. You haven't done anything to release this compression just yet. This is the stage when the racket goes back. If you want to add more power on top of that, you're not slowly bringing it back, you're quickly allowing the racket to go back so that it's generating that speed that's going to be able to snap quickly on the ball. You're coming from here and it goes back as you're driving up, keeping the shoulder plane exactly where it is so that you're driving up from this position, allowing the racket to go back, and then you transition onto the front leg and get to your follow through. From the front, that looks like you are allowing yourself to get into the trophy position. I'm keeping that compression, and as I'm doing that, the racket goes back, and now I'm able to complete my swing.